How much will the special investigation into Benghazi cost you this year? According to an analysis by ThinkProgress, more than at least 9 other important committees. Well, first, how much? How much is the House Benghazi panel estimated to spend? Well, they're estimated to spend just over $5.5 million. Okay, so what about the other committees? Obviously, they're not important, right? At least compared to Benghazi, which was a serious attack on our consulate. Now, here's the spending broken down by a committee. There's the Committee on Rules that got almost $3 million. The Committee on Small Business, of course, Republicans love small business, right? Just under $3 million. The Committee on Ethics, which is laughable, just over $3 million. Veterans Affairs, just over $3 million. The Committee on Intelligence, that's about $4.5 million. And it goes on and on. Surprisingly, the highest on there is the Committee on Space Science and Technology, with just over $5 million. Not bad. So anyway, you're probably saying, well, Jeff, we need to get to the truth about Benghazi. Well, nobody likes the truth more than we do. But these hearings aren't about the truth. These hearings are a witch hunt to go after President Obama and Hillary Clinton. Mainly because they want something to use against Clinton if she runs for president. They're scared of Hillary. And they should be. Actually, we should all be scared of Hillary, since she's probably more hawkish than John McCain. Nonetheless, the hilariously bad trailer for Innocence of Muslims video was part of the reason for the attack on Benghazi. So, Abu Khatala, for example, one of the guys, actually maybe the main guy, attributes the video as motivation for the attack in Benghazi. So, with that fact established, I just want to ask, how long do you think we're going to continue to do these investigations? And how much are they going to keep spending just to try and find something political to hit Obama and Hillary with? And what do you guys think?
Like, in general, if you're going to investigate something, right, and, like, you're seeking out justice and all that, like, I'm not going to get on you too much about the cost of that investigation. But, like, we already know pretty much what happened in Benghazi. Like, we don't need more committees, more hearings. And I will, again, break down everything that happened in Benghazi for everybody, just in case you weren't paying attention. Basically, we let the president start a war. He started bombing cities in Libya to get Gaddafi. The rebel force that we were helping was in the Benghazi area, so we set up a compound over there. It turns out, like all things turn out, that people that we help are later our enemies, and our ambassador got killed. But all these Republicans that didn't stop the president from bombing Libya really have no leg to stand on, because they are super hawkish and they wanted ground troops in there. So we always help the bad guys because they're going after the other bad guy, and then it turns out that the bad guys that we help don't like us either. The story of American foreign policy in the Middle East. So, ta-da.
You are mostly correct, slightly incorrect, sir. You are mostly correct in that you're right that some of the rebels that we were helping turn on us. You are incorrect in that those rebels were then ousted by the rest of the rebels, who were then displaying signs saying, America, we didn't do it. We're not, they don't represent all of us. This was a fringe group. So it's not that all the bad guys turn against us. It's a small component does, which doesn't change the problem that oftentimes the people we help do turn against us. But it's just a slight caveat or a slight amendment to your story there, that it was a small component, radical component, that had previously been aligned with us and then turned and attacked our consulate and then was repelled and driven out of the city by the rest of the rebels. So, just that amendment there.
All right. I'm going to go to Becca, who's probably got some facts.
Actually, I don't have as many facts on this one. I'm so sorry. Except that I got really interested because, seriously, like, what is this money going to, right? It's going to be $5 million by the end of the year at least, and they're expecting the investigation to go on into next year. For a 12-person committee, this seems moderately excessive. And the things that they're telling me the money is going to it's what's really confusing to me. salaries for staff, technology, IT support, publications, and document management for things that obviously they don't want to become public knowledge. I don't understand how that costs an additional $5 to $6 million when the committee salaries are already being paid. We know that they have interns there to do things for them. Now, document management, yes, this is important, but can it realistically cost $5 to $6 million when those infrastructures must already be in place? I agree that it's mostly a witch hunt, but that's from my political perspective. It's not that I have a problem, well, I have a problem with the investigation happening at all. But if someone thinks it's important, that's one thing. Spending $6 million on it for no real reason, that's a bigger problem to me.
Yes, Becca just blew the lid off the story here and broke some news. This is another example of basically war profiteering, except on the investigative side. Like, these Republicans are hiring their contractor buddies to go investigate this. Like, there's private investigators being involved in all this, and they're part of it. That's where this money is going. Because, like Becca pointed out, the people on the committee, their salaries are already paid. They're not part of the cost. But the staff that they bring in and the consultants that they bring in to find the truth are making money hand over fist. I also, Jeff, I don't think that this is completely about getting President Obama and Hillary. Well, obviously I don't, because I just said it's also about the money. But it is also about, or it's only about getting Hillary politically. This is not, like, they lump Obama in just because they have to do that to get traction and keep this relevant before the 2016 election. But this is totally, totally about Hillary. And in their defense, if there is someone who probably should answer for some buffoonery, it is Hillary. One thing that these many, many investigations that have unearthed the truth about Benghazi have unearthed is that there was a lot of government incompetence there. There was no conspiracy, but there were some examples of bad government management, and that would fall under the purview of the State Department. So there's that. But no, this is totally a witch hunt for Hillary because she's beaten every potential Republican in every poll, which is really, really damning for what the Republicans have to say, because there's just not a lot of excitement about Hillary and the Progressive Party or progressive side of the political parties. And then
really
the last little take I want to do, there shouldn't be. No, she's not. I mean, it's going to be really difficult for me to vote in 2016, but that's another story. I don't want to get sidetracked. I just want to point out to do a little callback and tie this into a previous story. The committee immediately beneath this one in funding is the Committee on Science, Space, and Technology. So that's like investigating Benghazi and having the 13th hearing on Benghazi financially is more important in Washington than science, space, and technology. And that's why our legislators get up there and say Guam's going to tip over and Mars is the same temperature as the Earth and dinosaurs died, which was somehow relevant to the conversation. Also, agriculture, veterans affairs. I mean, come on, this is what our politicians value more. They've got science, learning, our veterans, and our food. Less important than Benghazi. And then final point, even the absorbent amount of money they're spending, even that is tilted unfairly to where the Republicans, who are obviously going to be coming after Hillary and Obama and propagating the conspiracy, have managed to rig this to where they get a substantial amount of money, more than the Democrats, who are obviously going to be in it to defend it. And that makes me mad all the way around because, one, nobody's in it for the truth. The truth has been determined. What they're in it for is to win this campaign. And what we know about American campaigns, with the exception of Eric Cantor, is whoever has the most money wins the publicity campaign, and that's all this is. And they've stacked the deck, man. They've got more money. So as stupid and as much as they beat us over the head with Benghazi, it's probably going to get traction because the money's there, and that's what counts.